All right, we're back for the next part of the retouching demo. We're actually not retouching in this demo. We are going to start the next part of the process, which is just getting yourself ready to retouch and starting to do some tonal adjustments. So with that said, I do have these two different files just so you guys can see. And the one that I had cropped, I have my background layer. By default, a background layer is going to be locked. We can rename it like before because we don't want to mess up this layer. I can actually lock it again. So anytime you double click on a background layer, it'll let you rename it, plus it'll unlock it. So if you want something locked, you will go down there and choose that lock option. And then you are going to duplicate this layer. Now there's always multiple ways to do things. So a lot of the times I'll just drag it down to this icon. You could also right click on things and you'll notice the options to duplicate and create a new version of the layer from that layer. So right now it says before copy. I'm going to change this to retouch so I know what I'm working on. Now, Photoshop will not let me work on anything if it's locked. Okay, or it's not supposed to. So I want to make sure this layer here that says retouch is unlocked because eventually we will come back and mess around with that when we get into the retouching tools. So in Photoshop, we have a lot of just different adjustment layers. I won't go into every single one, but I'll show you a few different ones that are very helpful. Adjustment layers basically will create a new layer. So I'm going to click on this one here that says levels adjustment layer. And this essentially shows me now a histogram, okay? And you will want to make sure that you know just the basics of how to get around in Photoshop. So, that adjustments area gave me the option for all these adjustment layers. These properties are the properties for my adjustment layer. Anytime you also want to just double click on this, it usually opens those properties up again anyway. So this histogram lets me see the light and dark values in my photo. If you want to be able to bring in more dark values, because this photo feels a little bit washed out, this little triangle is for your shadows. And then the one on the right is for your highlights. And the one on the middle, in the middle, is for your midtones. And so it takes a little bit of time to get used to things. The best thing about this, though, is that adjustment layers are non-destructive, meaning at any point I can hide this layer by clicking on this eyeball, and I can go back to my original photo or the last layer that I had visible. Okay. So usually most people will apply a tonal adjustment that is something like the levels or curves, which are very similar but different. Um, and you can come back at any point, let's say tomorrow, and make a change because your eyes think you can go darker or lighter, or maybe you want to press the or push the midtone values a little bit more. So again, these are all creative decisions that you're going to have to make, and everybody's eye is a little bit different. A couple others like brightness and contrast are very valuable as well. And the best way to learn them is just to mess around with the features and see what happens. Usually I'm looking at the photo the entire time. And anytime you alter this, if you just like scrub this little caret triangle, if you want to be able to move it back to the original place, you can just double click on it and it goes back. Okay. So that's brightness and contrast. A couple others that you might use. Again, curves is a lot like levels. It's just, it feels a little bit more like a math diagram than I enjoy. So I personally prefer levels. And then you do have hue and saturation. Let's say, for instance, you want to make the picture's colors more vibrant. You can saturate it a little bit more or maybe a little bit less. So if you desaturate it, it turns to a black and white photo, right? The hue is just basically going to change, the values of those colors. So, if you are going for something that is this drastic, it will allow you to mess with those values. And you can be super selective by picking a certain color as well. So play around with it. This is really meant for you to explore at any point any of these adjustment layers. I can hide. Okay. Usually with adjustment layers, the only thing you're going to come back and edit are those same controls. So let's say, for instance, I want to get back to that levels. I would just double click right here, and then I can go back and change these. Now you will notice, even though brightness and contrast, let me double click on the triangles in the levels, it does not. So it won't go back to that original state. If you want to redo things because you're not sure if you got it right, you can always take this and you can always move it to the trash can if you want, and you can redo those levels at any point. Okay, so if you feel like you weren't sure and you want to get rid of something, that is the best part about adjustment layers is they are very forgiving, and you can have a lot of fun with them and improve the photo a lot. Okay, so with that said, I would encourage you guys before you start doing any retouching, mess around with the tonal adjustments and improve the actual pixels you're working with by doing these tonal adjustments. And then the next step is going to be to learn some retouching.